Tell me about the day he died.
It was a Saturday morning, August 6, 2011. We're rolling up on the 6th anniversary, which is difficult for me to believe. My phone rang at 7:30 in the morning, and it was my husband, Billy, who was working 3,500 miles away from home. We actually live in Florida, southeast Florida, and he was in Vancouver, British Columbia, believe it or not. And he called and he said, "Karen, I have something to tell you, and I don't want to." His breath was shaky, quivering. I couldn't imagine what was about to come out of his mouth. Aaron had been a SEAL for 9 years, had been on hundreds of missions, deployed multiple times, Iraq, Afghanistan, Guam, all over the country, all over the world, excuse me. And so we'd never had a moment like this, Glenn. We'd never had a phone call like this in all that time. And he said, he finally got the words out, and he said, "A helicopter was shot down last night." And the more details that the news is revealing about the shoot down, the more it sounds like it could have been Aaron's team. And I would just, I mean, to say that my heart started racing, I just started feeling this sensation because Billy was nervous, which made me instantly nervous, right? So I remember, you know, trying to process what he was telling me. We tried to decide what to do together. We tried to decide who to call, if we could reach Aaron on Skype, because we could sometimes. Tried that, no avail. Couldn't reach any of his friends, none of that. I tried to reach, he had been married for a little over 3 years, and his wife had just given birth to their second child, Chamberlain, who was only 9 weeks old on this morning. And so I called her parents' house because she was staying with them, and I talked to them and said, "Is she up yet? I don't want to wake her up because I don't want to bring her into this nightmare." And they said no, they weren't aware of the shoot down, and no, Kimberly wasn't up. And so just another half hour went by before I called their house back, in just kind of a frantic 1 hour of calling friends and family and asking them to pray for me. And these words were coming out of my mouth that I couldn't even believe were coming out of my mouth. "Please pray for Aaron. He might be dead." I mean, you just can't picture saying those words. And finally, 8:30 that morning, just 1 hour later, I called Kimberly's house, Kimberly's parents' home again, and her father answered the phone and said, "Karen, it's bad." And I said, "I know," thinking that he was talking about the likelihood that Aaron could be involved. And he said, "Listen to me. Aaron was on the helicopter, and there were no survivors." And Glenn, I can't explain a moment like that other than it feels like you're having an out-of-body experience. I remember my eyes just kept going black every time I blinked, my ears roaring, trying to process what I'd heard. It seemed impossible. I could never imagine that it would be me it happened to. I started running through the house, and my daughter Tara she had come over by that time because her father had called her and asked her to come be with me. She was an adult with a family of her own. And I finally landed on my bed, and Tara sat down beside me and just grabbed me and said, "Mom." She sat there for a long time and couldn't speak, and then she finally said the words that just hurt almost equally to hearing the words that Aaron was gone. And that was, "Do you want me to call Dad?"